Yeah, most sports talking heads make predictions, then hope you forget about how wrong they were. But not Mackie and Judd.
Write this down.
This is the big leagues, where we own our terrible predictions.
Write that down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages. It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackie and Judd.
And that's right, it's Write That Down time. A familiar face absent, Mackie off, but we do have predictions from him, so it's going to be Phil involved, but not on the show right now. Judd, Declan, and guest predictor Logan, who will show up on the screen wearing a Wild jersey, but don't be fooled, folks. He's from Dallas. He stole my hockey team, so I am bitter about that. But as Phil likes to say, we always get challenged with, you guys are so wrong about Kirk Cousins. What do you guys know about anything that's going to happen? You are taking Quasi or Kevin O'Connell's words and twisting them, and you're wrong. Why don't you just admit you're wrong? And like Phil says, every Wednesday we sort of just do. We just fess up. We fess up to the fact that we are human, to the fact that we are fallible, to the fact that we not only are willing to be wrong, but we then bring it back and embrace it. And so it is. Write that down, traditional style. Mackie and Judd, as you can see right there, the rules of Write That Down. 3 predictions from everybody each week must be quantifiable. Why do we have that qualifier? Because Phil once predicted early in this process, early on in the Write That Down days, that Karl Anthony Towns would be the man, to which the rest of us mocked him and said, dude, what are you talking about? That means nothing. And so that must be quantifiable. Obviously, in this one, we keep track of both the batting averages and home runs on the Purple Daily. Write that down. Those things become completion percentage and touchdowns. And then, of course, Declan, for listeners to participate, how can they do so?
Yeah, just shoot me some feedback on the Score North app. You can shoot me there to get on a show. I think we're booked through the month of March and in part of April, but we have some openings, I think, in mid-April. So if you'd like to come on, please, shoot me a note.
Look at
Score North app.
Look at that. Demand
That's right.
High. All right, Declan, let's get to the predictions that we're going to go through, some of which are right, some of which are wrong, and then ultimately, before we bring Logan into the show, we will get to the current standings. So why don't you put those up and take us through what they look like right now?
All right, let's run through this, Judley. What do we got here? Let's start with you. Rough week.
Yep.
Rough week for Judd.
0 for 2.
0 for 2 week. That's an over.
It's early.
You said Cam Talbot will start one of the next 2 games.
It didn't start till the
Toronto,
third one.
Calgary.
Yep. Yeah, I countered yours, which means that's a win for you.
Yeah, we'll get to that one in a minute. You also said the Gopher men's basketball team will win 2 or fewer Big Ten games.
What'd they win?
Right. More than 2. I think 3. You know me being the big Gopher holder that I am.
3 or 4? You know what? I'm glad. God bless them. I'm glad. You see what? At times, I'm not only wrong, I'm glad to be wrong. This is one case. All right, that's me. Let's go on to Phil Mackey.
All right. What is old Macadeg? Oh, nice little week for Phil here. Nice little week. He said the Wolves will win at least one of their 2 games between Memphis and Philly.
Yeah.
Good job, Phil. 1 for 1. Yeah. Not a bad week. Listeners, Arjun.
Nice.
From Australia, down under, said Kirk Cousins will not speak publicly for the first 14 days after the official hiring of Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
Nice little hit for Arjun there. Not bad. The listeners getting on the board. Nothing wrong with that.
So Kirk Cousins talked at the Pro Bowl, but that was before O'Connell was hired. So yeah,
correct.
That's nice. And in fact, I don't believe we have yet heard publicly from the quarterback on O'Connell's hiring specifically, unless I missed it completely.
Yeah.
He
I
went
heard him
to
at
the
all.
Pro Bowl. He went to the Pro Bowl. He talked briefly there, more so about Kirk stuff, I think, than Viking stuff. And I don't believe that I have seen any on the record Cousins quotes about O'Connell in particular. So Arjun, nice job. All right, Declan Goff. I know you got at least one right because I countered your Cam Talbot prediction last week and you were right.
Ooh, a little home run for me here.
Beautiful.
I predicted Capo Cochran will start the next 2 games for the Wild versus Toronto and Calgary. And due to the specific nature, it's not a tape measure shot, but it clears the Mauer pots. It was specific enough.
It's in the Mauer pots. It doesn't clear them.
It gets to the Mauer box. You're correct. Phrasing, just like write that down.
It barely
Phrasing
gets over the fence.
Phrasing.
You know what?
Hey, that's a dinger. That's a dinger. It was specific enough. Capo started both those games. That's a home run. I also said that Talbot and Kokkonen at the beginning of February will start at least 4 games in the month of February. Another dinger. But it's not all good. Said the slumping Ryan Hartman, who Judd and I watched last night. I mean, he's already been slumping. Yeah. That might have been one of his worst games of the season. You'll hear that on the early part of Mackey and Judd today. But oof,
it's not good.
And I also said the Wolves win at least 5 games in the month of February. They have 8 remaining as of this prediction. I must have just missed that one by a little bit. I'm not sure by how much, but I missed it.
Yeah, because they won they beat Cleveland 2 days ago, but that was March 1st, right?
Yeah,
and then,
I don't know.
So you got screwed by the month thing. The short month screwed you.
Yeah, I don't remember the timing, but I just missed it. So here's the statistics.
I know.
Here's the statistics. Right, the executive producer on top, 438 average, a couple bombs. Judd Zolgad behind me at 353 with a couple bombs. Phil Macadac above 300, 308 with a bomb. Listeners finally on the board. Judd, I don't think they were on the board until Arjun might have hit something there. So they're at 111.
Yeah.
And they're looking for their first bomb, but they're on the board now. Career stats as of 2018, 206 hits for Judd Zolgad, 17 home runs. Mackey with 170, 16 bombs. Listeners still leading the all-time home run race with 19. And I just hit the 10 home run threshold. And a little humble brag here, my hits to home run ratio, the best of the 4. So just look out.
Oh, you can suddenly do math now?
Yeah, I can suddenly do math.
A guy
now.
who
I'm averaging
can't do
a home
math
run.
to save his life now can do
can't
math.
Do math.
That's fantastic.
Can't spell.
That's fantastic.
Can't read. Doing. I'm so good.
We all got our life, my man. Right? We've all got our problems. I'm not going to pile on for that. I'm just saying that's very good.
Not bad.
All right. Bad. So with that, we will now bring our guy Logan into the write that down discussion. And Logan,
how you doing?
What's up, man? So Arjun just got what we believe was the first hit by a listener this season. Are you going to continue the trend of trying to swing for the fences, or are you going to come in and just try and basically go the opposite way, get some hits, and get that listener batting average up?
Yeah, I gotta get some singles here. I gotta get a hit at least.
Okay.
Yeah, no going for the fences today.
All right. So here's what we're going to do, since Phil sent in his predictions. He's not here to actually participate. We will start with you. We'll go to me as we ordinarily do. Then we'll go Declan. Then we'll play Phil's prediction and go back to you. So the floor is yours. Logan, your first write that down prediction for this week.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, so I believe the Wild have 4 games in this upcoming week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My first prediction is they will win at least 2 of those games.
Okay.
So they play. So are you saying with the start of next week or including this week?
So this week, between this week and next week, write that down.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back-to-back games against the Flyers and the Sabres, I believe, on Thursday and Friday, correct?
Yes, and then they got the Stars and the Rangers, I believe.
All right. Yeah, I would say this. It would be nice of them to break out of this funk with a couple of wins against what are not very good Flyers and Buffalo teams. So I think you're on to something there.
Yeah. The last few games haven't been so great.
No, not, man.
Write this down.
Calgary's tough. All right. I'm going to stay on the Wild theme. Write this down. The Wild will win at least 8 of their 12 home games in the month of March. So I think they're going to go on a run here. I think they're going to bounce back. Calgary's exceptionally good. But I don't think that their recent dry spell is going to wipe them out. So with the way that this team ordinarily plays at the X, the Wild will win 8, Declan, of their 12 home games in the month of March. Yes, that's right. I'm being very optimistic. On to you, Declan.
I think that's specific enough. That might be a bomb, John. I mean, 8 of 12, that's a lot. A good amount. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, just put the question there. Just put the question there. Just try and urge Phil that is a potential home run.
All right, I like Judd's Hockey Show with the additional Logan here, so I'm going to stay on the same thing.
Nice.
And I'm going to say that the Wild will make a trade between now and next week's. Write that down. I think Bill Guerin's seen enough here. I think he's seen enough.
Specifics, Declan Goff?
I think I wouldn't. I think he aims goalie.
Woo!
Dino defended Cam Talbot yesterday in the post-game presser. I didn't think he played too hot yesterday. I'm going to say between now and next week's Write That Down, the Minnesota Wild will make a trade.
Write this down.
All right.
Write it down.
All right, let's play our first, I guess, guess prediction from our guy, Macadac, who is out this week.
All right, prediction number 1. Excuse me. Old Macadac tied one on last night here in New York City at the Barrett Sports Media Summit, so bear with him for a second. Got to my hotel room last night just in time for the Rob Manfred press conference where he was laughing and cackling. Made me sick to my stomach to watch this guy continue to tear down baseball. So, I mean, this is probably a layup or a bunt single, but write this down. There will be no Major League Baseball games in the month of April. So I know they canceled the first couple series, but there will be no Major League Baseball games in the month of April. Screw Rob Manfred.
Probably a safe bet there from Macadac, who sounds a little hoarse.
Yeah, I was going to say he sounded sick. I thought he was going to say when he started that sentence that there will be no games in the 2022 season. And then he's like, April. That is April. That's the biggest bunt ever.
Yeah.
Of course there won't be games in April. They don't even care about April in baseball anymore. All right. Back to you.
Logan.
What's your
Logan?
Yeah, there you go.
What's your second
classic
prediction?
Judd Zulgad?
Logan. Okay.
I had to look at my notes.
So I got Dallas Mavericks prediction here.
All right.
Okay.
So the Dallas Mavericks have not been out of the first round since they won the title in 2011. I am going to write this down. The Mavericks will make it out of the first round in the playoffs this year.
All right.
I
got a question.
Go ahead, Judd.
How did Luka in season lose so much weight?
I have no idea. He was chubby to start the season. I saw that.
And he got really chubby.
He got roasted too, and then I guess he used it as fire too.
But I mean, he's
been playing really well lately.
And I wouldn't call him like super trim now, but he definitely lost weight.
Oh yeah,
and he's great. God, he's such a fun player to watch.
Logan, are you a Mavs and Wolves fan, or mostly a Mavs fan?
Mostly Mavs. Like, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm 32 years old, and that's the only title that I know. So.
So you're what? Wild fan, Vikings fan, or Cowboys?
No, Wild, Vikings, and then the Rangers and the Mavericks.
Oh wow! Okay,
Rangers.
Interesting.
I like it.
All right,
Judley.
Yes, I'm going to stay on the hockey theme and just
write it down. You like writing things down.
To college.
Oh,
the Gopher men's hockey team will advance to the Frozen Four this season.
Ooh.
The Gopher men's hockey team will advance to the Frozen Four, and amazingly, one of the biggest breaks that Bob Motzko and this team got was when LaFontaine was signed by Carolina, and their goaltending's actually improved. I thought that was going to decimate them. I thought it was going to kill them. It's actually helped them. So anyway, yes, Final Four appearance, or I should say, I'm sorry, a Frozen Four appearance for the Gophers.
Write this down.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Second prediction for me, I'm going to make a basketball one, a similar one I made for the Wolves last month. We'll see if this one hits. The Wolves play 14 games the rest of the month as of the recording of this Write That Down episode on March 2nd. I will say the Wolves, and they got some tough opponents coming up here, but I will say the Wolves, write this down, will win at least 7 more games in the month of March. They play 14 more. Yep. I'm going to say they'll go at least 500. So they'll at least win 7 more games. Big win over the Warriors last night. Yep. 7 wins for the Wolves between now and the end of the March. Write that down.
You like writing things down.
All right.
See what happens there.
All right. Let's go back to a guy who had far too many cocktails last night, Phil Mackey.
Okay, prediction number 2 here. The Minnesota Twins, who have sort of, I guess, snuck their way under the criticism radar just because of how interesting the Vikings have been, how high profile the Wild and Twins have been. I mean, no one is talking about the Twins for, I think, obvious reasons. Sorry, Twins, the lockout cannot help you hide from your mediocre future. I don't know how long the 2022 season will be. I don't know if it's going to be 150 games. if it's going to be 23 games. But write this down. The 2022 Minnesota Twins will finish below 500. And I think if that happens, we may have to start be questioning the people that are running that front office. If that shouldn't already be happening. But, the poll lads, they don't really care. They take forever to make any decisions. So they will finish below 500.
Write this down.
Can I say?
All
Can I
right.
say?
He's in a, yeah.
For someone who despises baseball and the Twins right now, for Macadac to make 2 baseball predictions out of the gate, I'm a little confused.
Here's the problem, though. Do you remember how excited that guy was when Falvey, Levine, and ultimately Baldelli came in? This is why I keep saying on Kwesi and on O'Connell, we got to wait. We got to wait. Macadac, the day that those guys were hired, said they're saying all the right things. This is going to, and you know what? He was briefly, I think, probably proven correct, right? But time has told a different story. This is why Sports Dad urges patience. We have to wait and see. So, and poor Phil. Phil sounds like crap. Anyway, Logan, back to you.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Kind of where I'm at with the Vikings too, just waiting on them.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. I agree.
All right, so this one is kind of this one's like into the future. This one's gonna be on the board for a while.
All right.
Okay.
So during the next 3 years, the main Parisian Suter buyout years, the Minnesota Wild will make a Stanley Cup final.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I hope
that
it comes
is
to fruition in a few months, but
Yeah. I
If
think they need to address the goaltending. This is my number. I think the number one thing for them right now.
Yeah, goaltending concerns me.
Yeah, and Hartman is not. Yeah,
Hartman's playing poorly.
Back to earth.
And look, you know what? Calgary basically put on a display of Calgary has guys, especially defensemen, who can kick your butt, and the Wild can't. Like they are small. They're just not big. So like my concern has become this: are there too many glaring holes to fill for a playoff run? Like there's a lot of different things there, and when this team's playing well, they're good. But like Calgary and Florida, those teams will kick your ass, and the Wild doesn't really have the pushback to kick ass back. So it concerns me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, even I know Declan's a little work. I mean, with the Blues, we played them in the first round. We haven't figured out the Blues in 2 years, and so that matchup really worries me if we play them in the playoffs.
And they're a playoff team too.
Yeah.
Again, because they're big, heavy, and will kick your butt. And it feels like the Wild of late, at least, doesn't have the pushback that they did, or it might just be that the games are changing now and have taken on more of a playoff tone. So,
very true.
All right. My final.
Hold
that down. Yep.
Logan, do you want to give a shout out here before we wrap up as you make your write that down debut?
For sure. I would like to thank JHS, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have found Purple Daily and Mackie and Judd. So, and then TNT Sports Page down here in Dallas. They're a Vikings bar. Been down here, been doing their thing for 25 years.
Nice.
So every Sunday or whenever I'm not working on Sundays, I'm there, having a good time, all the glory and all the not good.
Yeah, I was going to say, and frustration,
all the
bitterness,
frustration and all the pain.
One day, my man, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know when, and I might be dead, but you youngsters will be there to carry on and to celebrate the first Lombardi Trophy to actually be encased in this town. So, thank you, sir.
That'll be a great day.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Awesome stuff, Logan. Thank you, dude.
Bye-bye. I was going to allow him to stay on.
Down.
Like Phil kicks these guys off right away. I was going to say, you can hear the rest of our predictions. See, I was trying to be nice. Viewer friendly. All right. My last prediction for this week. The Vikings will have restructured or renegotiated. So there is a difference there. The Vikings will have restructured or renegotiated at least 3 current players' contracts by March 16th, which, just for a reference point, is the beginning of the league year. Okay. So the Vikings will have restructured or renegotiated at least 3 current players' contracts on their roster by March 16th.
Okay.
So like that's going to be Danielle Hunter, Eric Kendricks. I think at least 3. I think there's enough guys who are going to stay, who are going to have to agree to reworked contracts, which could include Adam Thielen. So
yeah,
throwing it out
that's
there.
true.
Those are my predictions. Declan, back to you before we get our final one from the very hungover Phil Mackey.
Oh, that's excellent. I love that.
I got a bunch of predictions.
So the Minnesota Twins.
I think he might have smoked last night. I'm going to go.
Sounds like it.
It sounds like he did. He had a couple of
might
years.
He might have.
Let me tell you something.
Oh God.
There's that voice means you feel like crap.
Oh yeah, I know that voice. I've been there numerous times. Little AEW prediction. Judd loves wrestling.
You promise us not. You know what, Dex? I pass no judgment just because I don't. I want to be clear here. I am not like Mr. Wrestling Fan Killjoy.
Yeah.
So I'm all for this. Bring it on.
Okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but bring it on.
Write this down.
All right, a little parlay. It's AEW Revolution this weekend, Judd. It's one of their pay-per-views. So AEW only does pay-per-views like spontaneously. They don't do them as frequent as WWE just because they don't have like as much resources.
Sure.
But they have a pay-per-view this weekend on Sunday, which I'm sure old Macadac and myself will potentially be tuning into to watch.
Okay.
But write this down. So Adam Hangman Page, the anxious millennial cowboy, as he is self-proclaimed, is defending his world championship. And my gal Britt Baker is defending the AEW Women's Championship.
Okay.
So I'm going to combine these two together, a little parlay. So write this down. Adam Page and Britt Baker will retain their respective titles at AEW Revolution
Write it down. You
this
like writing
weekend.
things down.
And is that expected and not too exciting? Is that not expected?
I think Hangman should. They've been pushing Hangman a lot. They do have Adam Cole, who's coming up through the ranks. He used to be a former NXT champion in WWE. But I think Hangman for sure gets the win. I actually think Britt Baker might drop it. She's been the champ for almost a year, and she picked up the belt off of Thunder Rosa, who she's challenging again for the first time since she got that title.
Okay.
So I think Britt is more susceptible to potentially losing the DMD. But I think Page and Baker at the end of the day retain their respective titles at AEW Revolution.
I got a question that's probably going to shock you, but I'm curious about this. What's the incentive and why is Vince McMahon going on McAfee show?
Because number one, McAfee works for WWE. So McAfee does commentary for SmackDown on Friday nights. And the rumor is that McAfee's going to face McMahon in a match at WrestleMania this year.
I remember you guys talked about that.
So, yeah. So
wouldn't Vince get hurt at his age?
I don't know. I'll say this about Vince.
Yeah.
I'll say this about Vince in terms of his performance. He will do anything for the fans. He will put his body on the line for the fans. The McMahons will always do that. Shane McMahon jumped off like a 50-foot Hell in the Cell 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yep, that's ridiculous.
So they'll do whatever for the pop. But yes, he is way too old to potentially be taking bumps like that. So we'll see what happens.
Now why is Pat a fan of a wrestling association that's been successful, but it's sort of not dying? But I mean, you and Phil are clearly not into it now. Like, is that a good career move for McAfee wrestling wise, or is he just paid so damn much he doesn't care?
I think he probably just likes WWE. He grew up a huge wrestling fan, and he's probably just more obliged to WWE, and I'm sure it's a great opportunity for him. But yeah, that's a great question to hitch his wagon there. Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right, and now let's go to the East Coast, New York City in particular, where Phil Mackey might be lying down as he makes these predictions.
All right, while old Macadac may pump the drinks on the alcoholic beverages tonight, he will not pump the brakes on the Timberwolves Kool-Aid. Write this down. That 2-game win streak will be a 7-game win streak. The Timberwolves will win their next 5 games at least in a row. Write it down.
All right,
I think he's still
who's
drunk.
You think he is still drunk? There's no question in my mind he is still drunk, and I think he's lying down. I think he's lying down, and my guess is that he will miss at least the first part of the symposium today because he's so shot. So they've got Oklahoma City coming up.
That should be a win.
I believe. They've got Portland coming up back to back, so that gets us to
those should be wins.
That gets us to
tough,
5,
yeah.
And then the next 2, I'm not positive about it.
Yeah. Oh,
Portland's not. Yeah, Portland's dead basically. OKC, yeah. But here's the weird thing: the Wolves get these impressive wins at times, Dex, and then they're very capable of. How can I put this nicely? Losing to teams they shouldn't lose to. Yeah. So I don't know.
There's one on there that they'll potentially blow. Yeah, I think Times Square, old Macadac might have gotten the best of them there. That's supposed
to be that's supposed to be sort of a business trip. I gotta admit, as sports dad, I'm a little disappointed in Macadac's partying ways out there.
I Dan Seaman, our loyal liege. I just did a presentation for high school kids for him on his behalf about before this morning. And I'm not at Times Square getting hammered.
Imagine Declan Goff. Imagine Declan Goff
educating the youth,
teaching your child. If that's not scary. So Friday at OKC, Saturday, Monday, home games against Portland. Wednesday, home game against OKC. Friday, the 11th at Orlando. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's not even that great a prediction.
I mean, it's 5 consecutive games. It's
but I mean, I'm not. It's not a home.
No, it is. That's a home.
I don't want to. No. You know what?
That's 5 consecutive.
Bleep
wins.
him. He ain't getting. No. I'm not giving him a home
game.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, dissension.
And they'll drop one anyway, so it won't matter. The man's lying down as he makes his predictions. All right, write that down. This is great stuff. Fantastic. We'll see you later.